and who make it very clear to the Prime Minister that she has their adulation for exactly as long as she delivers Brexit. It hugely skews the broadcast coverage, I'm afraid. For example, a week ago, there was the annual survey of top British business, the leading UK companies. Over half said Brexit was already having an adverse effect on their business, and half did not have confidence in the government negotiating a good deal. It led the Financial Times. It was barely covered elsewhere. The BBC had it as an item of business news. Supposing the survey had come to the opposite conclusion, it would have had at least 4 papers headlining it, and it would therefore have featured prominently on the broadcasts. That's one challenge. The second challenge is the absence of an opposition which looks, on the polling, capable of beating the government. The debilitation of the Labour Party is the facilitator of Brexit. I hate to say that, but it's true. So what this means is that we have to build a movement which stretches across party lines and build and devise new ways of communication. There are lots of different groups doing great work, Open Britain naturally being one. These groups have got to find ways of concerting strategy and tactics effectively. We should begin to create informal links immediately and then build them into a movement with weight and reach. We need to strengthen the hands of the MPs who are with us and let those against know they have serious opposition to Brexit at any cost. The institute which I am setting up will play our part. We're creating a policy platform wider than the Europe question. There is an urgent need to reposition the whole debate around globalization and how we make it work for people. In this sense, the Brexit debate is something which is part of a much bigger debate. But developing the arguments around Brexit will be an important element of the Institute's work. Then together we need strong links with the rest of Europe. You see, if our government were conducting a negotiation which genuinely sought to advance our country's interests, that negotiation would include the possibility of Britain staying in a reformed Europe. It's clear the sentiment which led to Brexit is not confined to the UK. There is a widespread yearning for reform across Europe. Part of our work, therefore, should be to help build European-wide alliances to give voice and effect to such an impulse. So this movement must have many dimensions to it. It requires arguments of detail and arguments of grandeur. The case for Europe remains rooted not in understanding the past but the future. All over the globe, countries are coming together in regional alliances for a very simple reason. As China rises, as India and other large population countries follow, and with the USA already so powerful, so to maintain strength and influence to defend our interests adequately, nations of our size will cooperate based on proximity. This is true of the nations of Europe. But for Europe, there is a more profound reason. The transatlantic alliance is needed more than ever. But how much stronger it is with Britain in Europe and Europe an equal partner with America. Forget the short-term electoral politics, there or here. In the long term, this is essentially an alliance of values: liberty, democracy, the rule of law. As the world changes and opens up across boundaries of nation and culture, which values will govern the 21st century? Today, for the first time in my adult life, it is not clear that the resolution of this question will be benign. Britain, because of its history, alliances, and character, has a unique role to play in ensuring it is. How, therefore, can it be wise for us during this epic period of global evolution to be focused not on how we build partnerships, but on how we dissolve the one to which we are bound by ties of geography, trade, shared values, and common interest? The one incontrovertible characteristic of politics today is its propensity for revolt. The Brexiteers were the beneficiaries of this wave, but now they want to freeze it to a day in June 2016. They will say the will of the people can't alter. It can. They will say leaving is inevitable. It isn't. They will say we don't represent the people. We do. Many millions of them, and with determination, many millions more. They will claim we're dividing the country by making the claim and the case. It is they who divide our country. Generation from generation, north from south, Scotland from England. Those born here from those who came to our country precisely because of what they thought it stood for and what they admired. So, this is not the time for retreat, indifference, or despair, but the time to rise up in defense of what we believe. Calmly, patiently, winning the argument by the force of argument, but without fear, and with the conviction that we act in the true interests of Britain. Thank you.